Today I'm going to recommend 4 indie fantasy books that you need to read this year. First off, we have The Betrayal of Eden by Erin Phillips. This book is a fantasy retelling of the Count of Monte Cristo, and it's gender swapped, so main character is a female. This book was very fast-paced and so much fun. The characters were really fun. It follows 2 separate main characters. 3? Does it follow 3? No. Yes. This... Sorry. This book follows 2 different main characters, and they're both very interesting to follow. First main character, Eden. Eden is poor, but she's trying to, earn her way to the top. She is actually dating someone that's very high up in power, and it's very interesting to watch that play out because not everybody is happy for her. So there is, as the book suggests, some betrayal that happens. The other main character, Hunter, is an indentured servant whose father was working on grimoires? I don't know. His father was actually uncovering secrets about these magical books that their government uses for things, which is common knowledge, and people can pay to use one and cast a spell with it. However, there are loopholes, there's some things that can go wrong, and his father found out something very interesting that other people do not want the public knowing. Hunter finds this out and is now having to figure out what to do with it. His life is in danger, he doesn't know what he started. Stakes are high in this book, writing style is great, everything goes quick. Then there's chapter titles. How can you go wrong with chapter titles? Erin Phillips is a Christian indie author, and her second book in the series comes out this year. I believe it's in May or June. One of the 2 months. No content warnings in this book. It is perfectly clean, and it's very fun. Next, one of my personal favorites is The Sword of Kaigen. It's a chunky boy. Yeah, it took me a little bit to get through it. See, this is spoiler free, so there's not much that I can say. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Avatar. So if you love the series Avatar: The Last Airbender, you will love this book because essentially they are waterbenders, and they live on these cliff island type things, and it was obviously very cold. Like they deal mostly in snow and ice. It follows a mother and her son. Those are the 2 point of view characters you follow, and the son is just trying to follow in his father's footsteps. Their family has mastered the art of creating this ice sword, and he wants to do it too. That has been his dream, so he's very obsessed with that. There's brewings of war, and something's going on with the government. They're not too sure, but for him, he doesn't care about all that. He's focused on mastering this art, proving himself being just like his father. And then you get to the mother, and the mother has this really interesting past. She's a warrior. She knows what she's doing. However, once she got married and she had children, she put that life aside, and now she just wants to keep her kids safe. And then war comes. That is all I can say without spoiling because so much unravels. Because this is an indie book, I feel like she was able to do more with the plot and with the characters than she would be able to do with a traditional plot. There's some things that happen here that I came so far out of left field because in my head I'm just going by the standard rules of reading that I'm used to. You just can't predict anything, and it is so interesting. The things I liked most were the character development, especially the mom. She was my favorite character to follow. Maybe top 5 favorite characters in fiction in general to follow. She was just definitely had her awesome epic mama bear moments where she's like, you are not killing my kids. She just goes hard. The way that these water bending powers were developed was so good. Again, Avatar, except it's an adult fantasy. And this book is one of my all-time favorites, maybe even in my top 3. I think it might be in my top 3 favorite books. Content warnings. She is married, so it's known that, obviously marriage things are happening. However, the author does not describe anything in detail. And then obviously just a lot of violence and gore. There is mentions of rape. The scene does not take place on page. You just see the aftermath of one of the characters. Just go into it knowing that there's some heavier things in this book. If that's something that you can handle reading, this is by far one of my all-time favorite books ever. So for our next book, we have A Miss Bright's Study. There we go. We have A Miss Bright's Study of Being Human by Kyra Hinton. So this is a special edition. The book that you order will be a little different because I got this as a Kickstarter backer. But like, hello, the sprayed edges are beautiful. And the illustrations, like, let me find one. Hello, just a little like Miss Sprite in the jungle. Not the jungle, the forest. So this is a historical fantasy that takes place in Ireland, and it follows a little mist sprite as she watches Ireland's history unfold in this little glen that she just lives in, that she supervises. She just watches the humans, and she's so curious. She just wants to understand the way they live, which is why it's a Miss Sprite's study of being human. The way that the author was able to show all of these heavier things in such a light way, it's not done carelessly, but the way it's presented is still very cozy. I would consider this like more of a cozy fantasy, even from the eyes of this Miss Sprite that does understand these things. Like when she sees people like attacking the villagers that she's grown to love, she's like, I don't understand these men with the pointy sticks. Like, who are they? Like, what are they just like the way that all this is described is just so, it's a short book, but it is so deep. And the character, I love the main character, Margie, our Miss Sprite. She is just wonderful. And the little human that she befriends, it's just, I like binged this book very quickly. It was not hard for me to finish at all. Like, oh my gosh, hello, that's so cool. All these photos are just amazing. So this is just such a lighthearted, sweet, just cozy fantasy that also does touch on a lot of historical things that happen with Ireland. There are some heavier themes that are explored here, but again, done so in a very light, cozy way. If you just want a quick, short read that just feels like very peaceful, very happy, like just this is a great book to read. I forgot content warnings for this book. There's not really any content warnings, so you should be good. You should be fine. This is, pick it up. It's a great read. Last but not least, we have Over the Earth, Under the Sky by Emily McCosh. This book. Okay, back to reality. So when the first Maleficent movie came out, I was utterly obsessed with it. I literally bought it. I had all my friends over to watch it for my birthday after I'd seen it already like 10 times. And I still was obsessed. Like, I memorized every part. I had a Maleficent Barbie doll. So when I found out about this book, I immediately knew that I was gonna love it. This is about a Fae King who finds an orphan baby in the woods and befriends it and brings it into the Fae realm with him, watches it grow, nurtures it, cares for it. This book is just, again, another cozy fantasy, very lighthearted, also kind of short too. There are some illustrations too. The author actually illustrates all her books herself. Where is it? This one on the front page. Do you see the little baby hand? The little baby hand just holding his clawed finger. It's just, it's adorable. I can't. I am such a sucker for books that do the parent-child trope, especially when it's like not their own, and then you watch them and they bond with the child, and it's just like, especially if they're reluctant at first. If anything, show, game, movie, book, whatever has that trope, I am here for it. This book was obviously a very, very fun read for me. It was a very cozy book. It was a very good book, and it just hit everything perfectly, just exactly how it needed to. If you are looking for a gorgeous, cozy fantasy read, this is the book for you. It is just wonderful. And it's just like nothing bad happens in the story. Like, it's just so great. Content warnings. There is like maybe a like small scene where the Fae King, like the main character, like goes to visit this other Fae woman that he loves. I don't know. It was so non-descriptive that I still don't know to this day if they did anything. But just know that implication is there. Other than that, there's nothing in this story, so pretty clean. And that is it for today. Thank you for watching my video. I also have a free monthly email newsletter where I will give you monthly book recommendations, and I also give writing updates for the book that I am working on. It is a cozy fantasy with Avatar: The Last Airbender vibes. It's a tropical setting. So if you would like little story snippets from that, I recommend signing up for my newsletter. It's just a free way to support me on my journey. as well as getting monthly book recommendations. So I will leave that link in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.